Alright, so I'm doing a video here on the new SpeedyBee Master 3X, and don't have it yet, but I hope we get it pretty soon. I had another video planned for this week, but saw this and had to make a video on this because this is an idea that I have been waiting for a long time. The modular but in this case it's the 0403 air unit that you can move from craft to craft. Why install this very expensive part on multiple crafts when you can just move it from, in this case this is a 3.5 inch micro drone, and it's the same cage that was on the B25, and I had an inkling that this was coming. SpeedyBee kind of hinted at this but didn't really say or confirm anything about this when I did the review on the B25, and I'll link the B25 review in the description if you missed it. But essentially you have this front part here that holds the 04 air unit, and this will also hold an 03 air unit, so it'll work for both. And it comes in a number of different versions. So they have these plug and play versions, which basically means it doesn't come with an air unit, but then over here it says here without head and then with this aluminum head. So I think this is a aluminum cage that holds the camera and the air unit. And I'll just obviously there's different versions as well. You can get the one with the Express LRS version. There's one with just plug and play, which is you're going to use the DJI controller for that. And then they have ones with 04 plug and play, and then let's say 04 plus ELRS. Doesn't look like they have a 03 version. So if you wanted to do 03, I think you have to get the plug and play and put your own 03 in there. But yeah, it's got the same cage that the B25 came with. It looks like that. So it looks like this, and on the B25, if I remember, it was plastic. So I have a feeling that they have updated this. Obviously, the cage that comes on the Master 3X is going to be compatible with both. And as you can see here, as you scroll down the page, it is the B25 head module, and I think that the one that's for the 3.5 inch micro, the 3X, is the metal version. Obviously it's updated so that it can accommodate 04 and 03, because the one that came in the B25 was only for 03, and then this new metal version, aluminum version, is going to be for 03 and 04. And you can see the antennas are over here on the side instead of in the back, and that's where the GPS is going to go, so you don't have the GPS being interfered with from the video signal. But just to, I mean, it looks like a pretty basic standard 3.5 inch micro, but they have this cage part in the front that you can then swap out the 03 air unit if you want to go to the Cinewhoop instead of flying a larger 3.5 inch micro. And you have your universal arms here. I think it's the same arm, it's just interchangeable. And then I think this bottom plate here is also metal. 40 amp all-in-one EAC, I believe it's BlueJay firmware. And it does talk about the different versions here. So they have basically plug and play without the head, but I have a feeling that you're going to want to get that if you are, even if you have the B25, which is on 03, you're going to want the one that's the metal version. So you're going to want to get this one here, the aluminum head. And in my case, I would get the Express LRS version. It does show you that it's 200 grams. And if you get the 04 version with the 04 already installed, then the weight's going to be 231 grams. And here's some specs here. It's got an ICM gyro, 1507 motors, and those were, like, I think Gemvan 3.5 inch props, 40 amp ESCs. They're 8-bit BlueJay firmware on there. Yeah, actually they're HQ 3525 props. XT30 connector. Does have a sort of a limited battery size. That wasn't also kind of an issue on the B25. That seems to be the same here, kind of that limited tray in terms of the size of batteries, but it looks like it takes 4S 750 to 1100 milliamp hours. And here is a pretty good picture of the whole cage here. As you can see, it's modular, and then over here it kind of slides in, and then I guess you screw it in place here. obviously, one of the reasons that people, or the companies I spoke with about this idea of being able to move your O3 air unit around, at the time, this is when O3 came out about 2 years ago, they told me that basically durability is going to be a big problem. So obviously, with this little cage being here in the front, even if it's all metal and you have a metal bottom plate here, carbon top plate, if you hit the ground pretty hard in the crash, this is a weak area. So it's hard to say how durable this is going to be without doing some crashing. But for me, personally, if I'm not really flying super aggressively, I'm just more of a casual flyer, and I want to save some money and move my air unit around, I think this is a really good idea. This is kind of why I proposed this a long time ago. Why spend extra money on extra air units when you don't have to if you're not really crashing all the time? Obviously, for people that are more aggressive flyers, you're crashing often, racing, for example, this is clearly not for you. But if you're flying mostly casually and maybe a little bit of aggressive flying, and then mostly cinema, sort of smooth flying, then this is perfect, I think. So, it gives you sort of a mix of like a little bit bigger craft. It's faster, more agile, maneuverable. You can do a little bit of freestyle. It's going to be overall a little bit more fun than a cinema, and then you have that cinema available to you if you want to do sort of slow cinematic flying and capture some good footage. So this is very interesting. I just wanted to make a video just to make you guys aware of it. It is for sale right now on AliExpress. A whole bunch of places already have it. Not sure why there weren't any reviews and why SpeedyBee didn't even reach out to me. I did reach out to them. They haven't contacted me back about this because I did want to do a review on this one because I mostly want to see how strong this front end here is because, I think this, I'm not sure if this is metal down here or carbon plate. So a lot of unanswered questions, even just looking at the, look at the product page pretty carefully. But this does, a lot of the features that were in the B25 are also in this model, and some of the limitations, like the battery tray, for example, are also in this model. So essentially, it's a 3.5-inch version with longer arms, but no prop guards of the B25. But now we have an updated modular camera VTX cage for the camera and the O4 air unit, and they've updated it now for O4 and for O3. So this is overall, pretty ideal for, at least for me, the kind of flying that I like to do. So just wanted to share this one. And if you guys want to pick it up, there'll be a link down in the video description. And if you've got any questions or whatever, in terms of like my B25 review and how it compares to this one here, I'll be happy to answer those. Just let me know down in the comments. And yeah, I'll put a link to this as well. You can peruse the product page. It's pretty interesting. I think this is a fantastic idea. I've been waiting for it for a long time, and hopefully it'll take off. And I would hope to see a lot more from other manufacturers like this, so that you can maybe have a universal like VTX, and perhaps move it around from even from different vendors. So perhaps if this module for the Master 3X becomes widely adopted, it could be put onto the other crafts on other vendors from other companies like Emax or Flywoo, etc. I mean, it looks like a fairly solid cage, and I'm sure if you just get the cage and you want to make your own designs for maybe perhaps something a little bit more versatile, maybe you can go to a 5-inch or a 4-inch long range, something like that. You could adopt that cage into your own designs, and that could be sort of a universal thing for future designs that are coming up. So I don't know, that's just my thoughts on that. Hopefully we'll see a lot more things like these. I really like these kind of innovations, and for the most part, a lot of these new things that come out are pretty much rehashes of old things, and it's the same old, and not very interesting. And as you can probably tell from the way I'm talking about this, I'm pretty excited about this concept here, and I think it can go a long way. I think it's just the beginning. Hopefully we'll see a lot more of these kinds of designs in the future. Anyway, that'll do it for this video. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.